Now, painting rocks, pebbles, stones, whatever you want to call them, is really good fun. And perfect for those moments where you think, what can I do for 5 minutes? I know, let's have a doodle. Let's paint some rocks. I'm going to start off with one colour, first of all, and that will be sepia. And sepia is just a lovely single colour, which is this one. This is one by Daler Roundy, by the way. But obviously, there's different manufacturers, so sepia, have a look around, see what you've got. It doesn't have to be sepia, it can be burnt umber, Van Dyke brown, anything that you've got. Payne's grey, entirely your choice, really. I quite like sepia, really. It's a nice colour. So I'll pop a little bit of that in there. I'm going to pop some water, bring that down a bit. That one. Probably a couple of drops in that one. Maybe 1 drop in that one. Maybe 3 drops in that one. A little bit more, maybe. And we'll try that first of all and see what we get. So if I just grab my old mixing brush, grab some sepia, okay, we'll pop that in that one first. And I want this one more to a milky consistency. Grab some of that, pop it in that one. And I want that one to be watery. I want this one to be more of a creamy consistency, so there might be too much water in there. And to get rid of some of that water, we just get some kitchen roll and just lift it like that. There you go. All disappeared inside there. Okay, save that. I'll have that one later. And then we can use this one for more, as I said, or more of a creamy consistency. I have to add a little bit more water to that now. I've taken some out. And no, it's running down the side quite nicely. Look. So it's got watery, milky, and creamy. All right, got that? Straightforward, isn't it? Of course it is. Grab yourself a brush. Any brush will do. I'm going to go for size 4, this one. Just grabbing any brush at the moment. This one is by Pan Art, just out of interest, and it's the series 1102. It's one that I did a YouTube video on just recently, just kind of testing out. So you've got that ready to go as well. And I think what I'll do, I'm going to draw kind of rough shape of a rock. Doesn't have to be precise or anything like that. Just think of a rock sort of shape. It's kind of oblong, round, curved ends, little kind of cuts here and there as well. So we do one at the back as well. Like that. Yeah. I might even do a little tiny one around there. Why not? Just out of interest. So I just lighten that pencil a little bit. I'll leave it slightly darker on purpose so you can see it anyway on the camera. Just lighten it. Okay, grab your size 4 brush. And what we'll start doing first of all is by wetting one of the rocks first of all, okay? Remember that we're doing this one in black and white. So sepia. Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. Just show you that look. So that sort of gradient. So we're going to go from light, even lighter than that really, all the way through to dark towards the top there. As dark as that colour will go for the really kind of thick, concentrated version, which is this creamy one here. And that's what we're looking at for that kind of scale, okay? So if you're not sure, do yourself a little scale like that. Just a wet and wet wash. Now I'm not worried if this water's going over the edge of the pencil there, which it has. You just see that kind of glistening on the paper there, see that? And it's just going over the bottom edge, just down there. But I don't mind, that's fine. Okay, don't tell anybody. Nobody's going to know. I'm going to get the watery version first of all. And start tapping this in to that rock, more to the top. Okay, bringing it down. Then we'll get some of the milky version, a little bit thicker, a little bit more pigment in there. And bring that further down the paper now. And there's wet area only. Now this paint will only flow where it's wet, okay? Where it's wet on the paper. So just bear that in mind. Then we've got that lovely creamy version. Now this will dilute on that wet paper, won't it, as it goes on the paper. But I'm going to add this now towards the bottom part. And probably down here as well. Now what you've got to consider when you're working on something like this is the direction of the light. So we're looking at something maybe from that sort of direction there. Okay. Give us some general idea on the way it's going. Let's cover that up now so you can't see it. And then just fill in this bottom here. Just with this first wash of colour. That's easy, isn't it? So simple as that. There you go, look. Thinking about that, say the light direction again as you're doing this. And if you put too much paint on, you can just take paint off, of course. A little bit more down there. Okay, now that needs to dry. So I might give that a quick blast with a hairdryer and go from there. Yeah, why not? We'll see. Just grab some of that, put that in there. There you go. Little dots here and there. And while that's drying, actually, I'm going to just do the same on that one down there. So wet it, remember. Put that out of the way a minute. Get a bit of a shadow on there, aren't I? So wet that rock down there. Something like that there. And then take a little bit of water off. There's too much water on there. If it covers up the texture of the paper and you can't see that paper texture on there, you probably got a little bit too much water on. So just take a small amount off first of all, okay? So that's lightest, the mid-tones, which is that milky version just there a lot. If you just kind of branching into that slightly lighter area, bring it all the way down actually with that one. Then we go for the creamy version, which is this one, as you know. Just at the very base. Oh, look at that. I know, that's deep. That's very dark. I'll put some more in there actually, why not? Very dark. And just bring one or two little marks up. Take some paint off your brush. Move it around, but try not to go really too high into that light area, okay? Yeah. Right, now I'm going to give it a dry before I do the last stroke on the top. And I'll do the same with that one as well. Now I'm going to switch to my size 00 brush, which is this little beastie here. A bit dry, isn't it? Let's just wet that down a little bit. So, nice point, and that's what you want. So something nice and small and pointy. So I'm going to use that now to start adding the detail over the top. I'm going to go for the milky version, actually saying that. So that's that one just there off camera. That's better, Paul. Now you can see it. So that one there, and I'm going to start thinking about some of the patterns and shapes we can see in our mind. So try and visualize some of the marks within this rock. Make it up as you go along, you know. That's what I tend to think. When you work with layering rocks, like this one here at the back, try to add the darker layer. Remember where the light's coming from that top left-hand corner? Add that darker layer just on this side, because it will be dark in there, wouldn't it? You know, because obviously the light's not hitting that area. And then when I'm working on rocks, I tend to think about little sections of indentations, small areas, little crevices here and there where small insects might hide. So I like that one there. That's what I'm looking at. And this is a little bit too flat round there. It's kind of a bit of a ski slope, isn't it? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to think about, let's just bring a little area up here. Let's break this rock a little bit down there and bring it up. Just alter that shape. To the very end of it, so it's now got a bit of a nose on there. See, you can really change this just by playing with the brush and see where it takes you. You really can. A few little stipples and taps here and there and fine marks. If you want to get finer and lighter, go back to your watery version, which is this one here, okay? And then use that one just to add some very fine, barely noticeable marks within the top of the rock. Remember, it's got to be nice and light up there, hasn't it? We are working with one colour, so we can't add watercolour white in there. We're just trying to stick to this one colour for this kind of part of the painting anyway. And then work your way back down again. Look at that, we've got texture already. Lots and lots of texture in there. And that's what we need. Plenty of texture, plenty of kind of movement. Well, movement, it's a solid item, Paul. But movement within the rock, you know what I mean. And scumble, stipple, so I'm just scumbling around here, creating texture all the time. Thinking about little gaps, as mentioned. I'm going to make a gap around there, actually, saying that. So one there. Yeah, I like it. I love doing stuff like this. It's great fun, it really is. So too much paint there, but I'm going to make use of it. I don't care. I don't care. Let's make use of that kind of wasted paint there. So we're not going to waste that paint, we're going to make use of it. Okay, now I'm going to hit the really creamy stuff. I want this so it's just about paintable. Okay, make sure it's got a nice point on it. So you're going to load it and you're going to roll it as you pull away from that mixing palette. And if there's too much on the brush still, tap it once on some kitchen roll before you go to the painting to maintain that kind of nice sharp edge. Maybe a little bit too thick. Let's just add a tiny amount of water in there, I think. Just a tiny amount. Okay. Now, let's carry on down here. That's going to be really dark on this side, remember? Light's going down that way. So it's going to be really, really dark in this area down here. So, as dark as we can get this colour to be, really. Just down there. Oh, and also, those little gaps as well. Think how dark them gaps will be inside there. Really, really dark in places. Some of the lines are thicker, some of the lines are thinner, some are squiggly, some are straight, some are curved. Just vary it as you go along. That's all I'm doing here. Varying my marks. I'm making it up, really. Amazing what you can do when you make something up. And then down there. Remember, it's going to be dark on this nose. And then when your brush is just about run out of paint, just scumble, use the side of the brush. Create some texture. Some little stipple marks, some little details. Just around that rock, even towards the top a little bit. Got the idea? Right. Now I'm going to do the same on the other two. And as you can see, a few blades of grass here and there. I know. So easy, isn't it? When you look at the way I've put this together, and you're working with from light to dark on that one wash, remember? Just that one colour, which is that one there. Okay, sepia. And you just gradually build it up as you go along and add further detailing as well. I mean, what you can do at this stage, you can get an old brush. I've got an old one which I've kind of squashed and made into like a chisel edge. This is an acrylic mixing brush and some kitchen roll, preferably clean. It's near enough. That's when I lifted that paint off, wasn't it? I can lift off with a little bit of paint just to create some highlights in places as well. See that? Just small places. That's all we need to do. Something like that. And that adds that extra kind of depth and shape towards these little rocks here. So this will give you some ideas how to work in one colour only, and working in that grayscale or monochromatic way. Okay. And if you look to the right, I'll link another video all about learning to apply texture in full colour. But remember that when you do this, to think about how you would look for light and the dark, as we did in the sepia tonal study.